Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Dayv Doberne, aka Sunyveil, and we're going to be back with, I think, draft number 7. Uh, yeah, last time we got 6 wins in our draft, completed some quests, got a nice chunk of gold there, and we're going to continue building toward our completed deck with another draft. All right. Well, we can decide to re-roll some of those quests later if we want to, based on how the draft goes. So. Oh, Crystallize is great. It's a pretty big bomb. I mean, if you play this, you get to have 2 attacks in with everyone, assuming your opponent doesn't have any endurance units. So yeah, we're going to take that. That's a good way to close out games. Lumen Defender is really good. Vanquish is also pretty good, but it's unsupported with Crystallize. Lumen Defender is a lot of the time what the card you want and what you want to be doing if you're in Elysian. I'd say that Crystallize is better in Felm, but I don't think that like Acolyte is quite as good as Defender. So I think I'm going to take the Defender here. It's just really hard to remove, really hard to deal with. Blocks really well. It's not actually great with Crystallize, but we could make it work. Okay, here, there's a Monument, which is pretty solid, but I think we're just taking the Lightning Strike, just more removal. We might end up in a really dirtily Elysian deck. Okay, this is an interesting pick. There's Cobalt Monument, which, even when it was a 3-4, I heralded as being a fantastic card. I mean, you will pay 5 for Huru Fledgling a lot of the time, and this has the upside of being a powerful when you really need it. And then, I've already talked about why Lumen Defender is good. I think I'm going to take the threat here. If you can give a Lumen Defender flying, it beats the Cobalt Monument, but 4/4 flyer is a really big deal. It's one of the biggest flyers you can have. So Trailblazer is okay. We already have a bunch of 5s, though, and I don't think it's as good as any of the rest of our 5s. So I think I just take the Bold Adventurer or the Initiative Sands here. Something nice about the Initiative Sands is that it looks like we may be very power hungry, spending a lot of power, and we might get some Storm Lynxes, so I'm going to pass on the Bold Adventurer here. Okay, I think I'll take the Felm Stranger here. A lot of the times when you're playing an Elysian deck, you want to splash for an Execute or a Feeding Time or something. So that seems okay. We might not end up being heavy enough in... sorry, it's not here anymore. We might not be heavy enough in time for Sand Warrior, although I do think that with the change of making it a 3/3 instead of a 3/2 makes it pretty reasonable to play. Okay, not a fan of Shadowlands Guide. We're going to take the Acolyte here. If you can levitate your defender, well, then it's going to be really hard to attack into that. Alright, we'll take another one here. It's also really good with, like, Xenon Guardian. Alright, Rain of Frogs is actually somewhat playable in draft, so I don't mind it that much. We'll take Levitate here. I'm not a fan of Twinning Ritual in draft. I feel like you could just get better units. And speaking of good units, that Thunderstrike Dragon is that's a very good card. I'd be happy taking the Dune Phantom or the Lumen Shepherd here. Really, any of those 3 I'd be pretty happy at first pick. But Thunderstrike Dragon is just, it's a card that you're not happy to see when your opponent plays it. Ooh, I love the design on this card. This is great. So this is a 24 cost card, but each time you play another card that's not power, the cost goes down by 1. This is the countdown for the Witching Hour. Each time you play a card, the clock moves until this costs 0, and the 4 Horse Riders of the Apocalypse come and defeat your enemies, or something like that. So I've played around with this card a bunch. It's a lot of fun, and honestly, there's not much I'd be passing up here. So I think I'm just going to take the Legendary to dust it. I don't know. It seems like such a shame to dust this card. It's not really constructed playable anymore, but it's so cool, man. So cool. Okay, well, if we're being responsible, we could take like a Felm Stranger. Yeah, whatever. I'm just gonna take that. I think that if you're building a collection and you see this, you open this, you take it. You just do it. All right. So we have the Fixing an Illusion banner here. Bold Adventures, a nice 2-drop, and we only picked up Felon Stranger so far. But I'm going to take Xenon Guardian here. It's good in that, well, it's a good late game threat. It's fantastic with Cobalt Acolyte. So, yeah, we're more excited about this than a Bold Adventure. And if worse comes to worse, we might end up with a bunch of strangers. Alright, I like Tower Top Patrol because it slows down the game a lot. But we do have a lot of expensive stuff. So maybe I just take the teleport because we don't have many ways to interact thus far. And teleport's a good one that you usually end up wanting in a Legion. Okay, here's a 2-drop. There's a Violent Gust, which I think is a pretty good card that makes most Legion decks. But Eastwind Herald's a reasonable 2-drop to be on defense if your opponent leads off with an Oni Ronin or something. Alright, I think I take the Stranger here. It's another 2-drop that fixes for Shadow. So I mean, I could see ourselves in a position where we could easily splash a Feeding Time or Execute if we happen to see one. Alright, this pack's bad. I'll take the teleport. Sometimes you end up playing 2 teleports. I usually try to play just one, but you know, 2 can be good also. I'll take the Initiate here. Alright, Dormant Sentinel is like kind of playable. Daggers is like very marginally playable. Okay, Champion into Chaos is kind of cool. It's a constructed playable card. I think that if you're building toward a Stone Scar deck, you probably take this here. If we're trying to win the draft, we take Bold Adventurer, but yeah, I'm going to continue my rare drafting ways. Building a collection is no joke. Ooh, Twin Brood Sauropod. This card is very good. It's just, I mean, it's like Thunderstrike Dragon, except a little more reasonable. Because it doesn't also have flying. So we're going to take that, and I think we're pretty good on top end now. We've got like the Cobalt Monument, the Thunderstrike Dragon, Twin Root Sauropod, Xenon Guardian to win our games. We just need to survive until we can get to that point now. So Jotun Hurler is pretty good, and I think ordinarily I'd take it over the Lightning Strike here, but like I was just saying, we have a lot of top end, it's looking like, and I think the Lightning Strike is just a good defensive card to help us get into our powerful late game. I mean, I think that Lightning Strike is actually the 4th best primal card here. I think Acolyte, Hurler, and Serpent Trainer are probably all better than Lightning Strike, but in a vacuum, but I think that our deck just needs Lightning Strike the most now. Wow, another Twin Root Sauropod? I can't pass that, I mean. If we get the Sauropod Wrangler, I was just about to say, if we get this guy, we should probably take it because it means that we can start playing Sauropods 1 turn earlier. On the other hand, Feeding Time is a great removal spell. This also has a Scaly Gruen, which I like a lot at 2 power. When it was at 3 power, it was not so good, but at 2 power, it's like pretty much worth taking. So yeah, we're going to take the Wrangler. Well, it discounts these 3 cards. I don't know, maybe it's better just to have a good blocker. I'm actually not sure about this. Now I'm leaning toward the Scaly Gruen because we have 2 Cobalt Acolytes and a 1/4 in the air blocks a lot of things. Not everything, but like a lot of things. I guess that's what I'll do. Like, the 2/2 body is just not very exciting. There are a lot of 3/2s and 3/3s that could give you problems. Alright, we'll take the Vorlunk here. It's actually a pretty good defensive unit. Ooh, Whispering Wind. That goes well with these Echo cards, and it can get up to a Thunderstrike Dragon, and a lot of the time it just eats removal, so that's good too. Alright, here we have Alchemical Blast or Sanctuary Priest. I think Priest is pretty bad. I guess actually Camel is not terrible in this deck because we have a bunch of Echo cards, but I think I'm just gonna take the Blast here. All right, nice 2-drop in Adventurer. And we ended up getting Camel. We could get another Felon Stranger here. We don't have anything we want to splash going into the last pack, maybe we just take the Initiative Sands because just getting out our sauropods earlier. Like I said, this deck seems like it's pretty power hungry. So getting things out a little quicker is great. And oh my goodness, that's another really good card that's hard to deal with. I mean, as much as I like Cobalt Monument, I don't think we can pass up a Surso. So this is we've got something good going on here. And then we got past a monument, an on-faction monument. This was another good one. I don't think it's as good as the flying one, but it's still very good. So we're gonna take this. Ooh, Annihilate. That's actually a card that I might splash. This is one of the best removal spells in the draft format. We just have the 2 Feln Strangers to splash, and we're probably playing them anyway. I mean, our 2-drops are... I guess we have Whispering Wind, Gruen. We might not end up playing it. Our plan could just be to block and like use Teriax Hatchling instead of Annihilate. I mean, Teriax Hatchling does beat Annihilate, but Annihilate's very good. We don't have like silence effects. I don't know. We just have big stuff. We have to hope that our big stuff is bigger than their stuff. I'm gonna stay on faction with the hatchlings, and then I guess I'll bolster my defenses with the Scaly Gruen. We could take Levitate here. I guess Refresh is like an okay trick. I think this is kind of underrated. It usually does something, and people just never expect it. Ooh, Amber Acolyte. That's good. I was talking about how our deck is power hungry. It's kind of similar to Wisdom of the Elders, really. But it also gets... I think it's a little faster to the board, which makes it appealing. Alright, we'll take Refresh here. Another Gruen. Jeez, we're going to be playing the Gruen deck. And whatever, these cards don't matter. Okay, so, this is an interesting deck. It has a ton of top end. Do I play Rain of Frogs? Maybe. We've got a lot of like really powerful cards. Surso, the Thunderstrike Dragons, the we're definitely playing this. We need to go into the air if we're going to win, I think. The Sauropods, the Defender, the Guardian. Probably play the Acolyte. Probably play the Initiative Sands. I think we're going to play like all 3 Gruens or something. We also have a Synchronized Strike, which goes really well with Gruen, but I think our plan is just to block on the ground and then fly over and beat them that way. I don't know, so this might be a little too defensive, but like we have a lot of ways of just like strong arming them into submission. Just giving the Sauropod flying or giving Xenon Guardian flying, attacking with Surso, just playing the Thunderstrike Dragons and hoping my opponent can't deal with them all. Yeah, how am I going to fill this out? And we got a Witching Hour from this draft. I guess we got 2 legendaries. That's pretty good. I'll play the Initiates to try to get our expensive stuff out faster. Also, we have the 2 monuments, so we can probably play like 18 or 17 sigils. We've got especially with the Initiates of Sands. So we need about 4 more cards. Some number of Levitates. I don't know, we could play both of them. It's kind of value. Yeah. We could play Teleport, Camel, Stranger. I don't think we need Strangers. We're not attacking on the ground. I think I'll play another Teleport. I'm not too hot about these guys. How many 2-drops are we playing? We're playing 5? That seems like enough, especially with the Initiates of Sands. We could play Vorlunk. Again, not too hot about it. I guess Alchemical Blast is fine. We're lacking removal in a big way. So just having something that can deal with, I don't know, something that could get out of hand like an Order of the Spires. Oh yeah, we can't really beat an Order of the Spires. But we can beat a lot of other stuff. So this would be 18 powers. I think that's where we want to be with the 2 monuments. Okay, let's go with it. All right, yeah, I'm going to split these videos into the drafting portion and the games portion again. So I'll be back in a minute. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the games.